Welcome back to the locker room. I am Captain Paul. That is Fajardo. What's going on there, Fajardo?
Nothing much, man. Living another day.
Another day, some hockey news, ripping buds. Let's get into it. So, we got some big news here, man. Evander Kane coming to an agreement with the Sharks. Before we get into the article, what are your thoughts about this whole situation that was happening between him and the San Jose Sharks?
Honestly, I think that this is a great thing for everybody involved because now they can just turn over a new leaf and keep moving on. Especially with Evander Kane, signing a long extension with Edmonton, and San Jose looking for the right things to do with their organization. I just think that this couldn't have been a better time to end to this drama, because now everybody can focus on what they have to do, more so than the issue that they've had for a couple of years now.
So let's get right into this article. All right. Evander Kane Sharks reach agreement to settle contract grievance. So Evander Kane and the San Jose Sharks have reached an agreement to settle his contract grievance, the team announced Friday. This is the statements from the San Jose Sharks. The San Jose Sharks have reached an agreement with Evander Kane regarding the termination of the NHL standard player contract. The agreement has been approved by the NHL and the NHL's Players Association. We are satisfied that its terms will not adversely impact the team, either financially or competitively, in this or future seasons, the Sharks statement read. The settlement is believed to address the gap between the final 3 years of Kane's previous contract with the Sharks and the next 3 years of his current deal with the Edmonton Oilers. Sportsnet's Elliot Friedman reports a difference of $2.5 million. Oof. If only I made that money. Kane and the NHLPA filed a grievance against the Sharks in early January after the team terminated his contract for what is called a breach of his NHL standard player contract and for violation of the AHL COVID-19 protocols. At the time, Kane was in a fourth year of a 7-year, $49 million contract signed with the Sharks in 2018. Following the termination of his contract, Kane signed with the Oilers for the remainder of the season and proved to be an impact player there, scoring 13 goals in the playoffs as Edmonton reached the Western Conference Finals. Kane then re-signed with the Oilers this offseason on a 4-year, $20.5 million contract. Kane had this to say: I played some of my best hockey in San Jose and gave everything I had on the ice. I really enjoyed playing in front of the Sharks fans and appreciate my loyal fans who have supported me throughout. Adversity can either break you or make you stronger. I'm happy to finally close that chapter of my hockey career. Edmonton, let's go. The Sharks will receive a penalty that's retroactively applied to last season's salary cap. So it's not going to really affect them going forward, right? I even checked cap friendly, so it's not going to affect them going into next season. I mean, Evander Kane is a very interesting player because I think he's one of those guys that's never really fully lived up to his potential, at least in my eyes, because Kane's got all the attributes to be a superstar in this league. Am I wrong?
No, you're completely right.
And the dude's a good fucking player. I don't think that can really be denied. I think what's always been the question with Kane is what's upstairs. And I think that's kind of always kept him from producing more. Because let's just get into it, man. I mean, look at, even in juniors, he was a phenomenal player. His first year, played 8 games, only 1 point, but you're a rookie, right? You're developing, you're learning. Second season, 65 games, 24 goals, 17 assists, 41 points, right? Solid. And then his third year, final year in juniors, 61 games, 48 goals, 48 assists for 96 points. He had a phenomenal year. His rookie year, 26 points in 66 games in Atlanta. Yes, Atlanta. That's how far back he goes.
Yes, sir.
I mean, he's just been a very good player. He was the 4th overall pick in that draft. At 43 points, 57 points once they moved to Winnipeg. And like I said, Evander Kane's always had the potential to I feel like, to be a star in this league. And just whatever the case is, he's never been able to fully mold his game and really kind of reach that potential, at least until last season. I mean, last season you saw it starting to come together because, like, yes, he'd have some years where he's close to a point per game, right? But his highest career total in a season was what? 57? No, 57 points in his third year in the league.
Yeah, yep.
And it's like, if you look at the games played, I can't completely dock him because it seems like he's missed some time every season. Like, on a point per game situation, he's still a productive player. But it's just he's been nicked up or he's had other issues going on where he hasn't been able to play. I mean, he played with the San Jose Barracuda in the AHL, and he had 8 points in 5 games, which an NHL player should be lighting it up in the AHL. Yeah. But last year with the Oilers, man, he had 43 games played, 22 goals, 17 assists for 39 points. I'm happy for this guy to finally find a place that seems like it's like a home for him. You know what I mean? Yeah. I just think there's so much more.
I definitely have to agree with you there. I think not only did he find a home, I think that he found teammates that he respects, and that he can really relate to, and that he's willing to listen to, which was definitely one of those really big moments as they got, right before the Western Conference Finals. There was a moment where he scored, his I think it was a 7th goal or 6th goal, and he made the sign and everything, and Connor McDavid let him know right away, no, it's not over. It's not. This is not how we do it. And you can see that he turned it off and focused back on the game. And to have that respect for your teammate, that's huge, right? Yeah. Because that only makes the chemistry go better, and that means that you're willing to listen to your teammate when it comes to like building plays, building chemistry. Hey, I want you here. Hey, maybe we should do this, where it gels really well. And I think that this is the beginning of something great. I mean, for what Edmonton is getting him for,
it's so cheap. It's so cheap, and I'm actually going to kind of switch it over to cap friendly right now because it's like I kind of wanted to put in perspective how good of a player he is, but I feel like he's left some numbers off the table. I mean, right now they're over the cap, so they're gonna have to figure something out here. But Evander Kane at $5.125 million a year is a good deal because you are looking at a player that could be a point per game player, if not higher than that. Because I think he went to like Atlanta, obviously, and Atlanta. Let's just call it out. It was a shit show. They moved to Winnipeg. Beginning process, they were a very mediocre team. Now they have a great fan base in Winnipeg, amazing fans actually, and I hope that team kills it this year. But the beginning of the Winnipeg Jets wasn't the most talented roster. Then he goes to Buffalo. Buffalo is Buffalo, right? Now they have promise right now, but let's be fair, the last decade, Buffalo's just been kind of a laughingstock. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then he gets to move to San Jose. San Jose was relatively competitive. He did decent there. I think this is the best team, though, he's ever been on. Yeah. I mean, you have Connor McDavid, you have Leon Draisaitl, you have Nugent Hopkins. You have so much talent. And I think the Oilers are starting to figure out Kane, like roster construction outside of Kane, right? You got Zach Hyman. I think they're starting to realize you can't just get a bunch of skill guys. You need a little bit more grit. And I think it's kind of nice to see for the Edmonton Oilers fans, this team come together and be this dynamic. And I honestly, my prediction, man, I think Evander Kane's going to get over 90 points this season.
I can see it. I can definitely see it because he definitely has a talent. And like I said, I think with the guidance of McDavid, that it's gonna be so good dynamically. I think it's going to just take that line to. I mean, they were already on a different level when it comes to scoring, but I think that this is just gonna take it even further, which I didn't even think was possible, right? And they're gonna be just more explosive. And then, again, he didn't play the full season last season.
No, he didn't.
But he played like half the season, and in half the season he was killing it. And in the playoffs, my man showed up. So, you look at him, the talent that he has, the players he has around him, the team he's on, he's in a really good place. And now that all this drama is over, he can really just focus on his game. Not only him, again, the Sharks, the drama's over for them. They can now focus on trying to do their rebuild. And, with Edmonton, you solidified a very good player for a steal, for a bargain. Honestly, I honestly think he's a $7 million player at minimum.
At minimum, especially when he's playing his game at minimum. Exactly. I mean, like if you look at these lines, like McDavid and Kane, like I said 90, but I could feasibly see Kane going up way above that as well. I mean, I'm not saying Connor McDavid numbers because Connor McDavid's a freak, but I could easily see like 100 points, and then you have length in that lineup, and it's just, I'll finish the segment off saying this. Good for Evander Kane. Glad the San Jose Sharks as well can put this behind them. Move on from that era. I think it was both for good parties, just to move on, call it a day, and look forward towards the future. So, any other thoughts before we get out of here?
No, I just think, honestly, it's a win all around. This whole situation's over. It's one of those. It's been crazy. I'm glad it's over. I'm glad everybody can now focus towards the future. And, man, Edmonton, good job with the steal on the sign here, man. Sharks, glad you guys are finally over this and working towards something new. So, it's a great situation for everybody.
So what I'll say is that, definitely agree with that. I think it's a good, just move on, look towards the future, and put this behind us. So, for the locker room, I'm Captain Paul. That is Fajardo down below. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We are a sports channel. We bring you hockey. We bring you soccer. We will bring you football, American football, and the European, obviously. And look forward out to our new shows. If you are interested in any of that, definitely hit that subscribe and the notification bell as well. We will see you in the next episode. Later.
Peace.